Hello everybody and welcome back to Madden NFL 11. Here on the channel we are playing Madden Moments in this video. This is a voiceover just to let people know because I didn't know how long these two challenges were going to take. So the first one, we're playing as the Chargers. We have to beat the Jets. There's quite a deficit, but it's not actually difficult to beat this one. And I'm also going to go over some things about Madden because, as you'll see at the end of the video, this is a very special video because this is the first of something to ever happen on the channel. So we score a touchdown here. Keep it simple. Run it with Ryan Matthews. If you've seen any of the games between the Bills and the Chargers in my franchise, you know Ryan Matthews in this game is completely broken. So let me kick it off normally. I know it's only a 2-minute, 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter, but when you think about the fact that the Jets, or we still have a timeout, and we also have the 2-minute warning, it's the right move to do. They're going to run the ball a lot. At least they should. And I say that because the final thing is not very fun. And if you've, by the way, been enjoying Madden NFL 11, hit the like button and the subscribe button, please. Help the channel grow a little bit. So 2-minute warning comes in. They ran the ball. They're probably going to run it again. We're going to use our timeout. Then they're going to run it again. And we're going to have about 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. As long as we can actually tackle them. So at least that's what I thought they were going to do. I can't honestly remember what they do in this. It's in a running formation. I'm pretty sure this is a Sean Marion tackle. Maybe that was a different... No, I think that's coming up. Okay. So we're going to get the ball back. And after about 30 seconds, during this time, I will point out that the last thing we need to do for Madden NFL 11 is complete the Sunday Super Bowl moment, which it's a fun story. Let's just say it that way. I have never actually completed Madden Moments before, even for fun. I've always been stuck on that beating the Saints with the Colts, and yeah. So they punt it. We got about 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock. We're going to get a decent return here with Darren Sproles to about the 50. You basically just need a like one completion for about 15 yards and we'll be fine. And Phillip Rivers starts the game by throwing this disgusting, going in the wrong direction, right-handed completion. Gains about 11, so I'm like, okay. We're in a good place right here, and then I just roll right and just heave it off my back foot and floats it right to Antonio Gates for a touchdown. And that gives us a lead. We're up by 4, so it forces them to score a touchdown. They have 40 seconds and a timeout. Against Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, I probably wouldn't be confident, but this is against Mark Sanchez. Yes, this is the Jets back when they were making AFC championship games like every year. But, you know, they didn't do anything outside of that. So basically they're the Bills from now. But, so 40 seconds, we basically just need a stop. That's going to force them to use their final timeout. At least I thought it would. But instead they're going to spike it. So they lose a yard, then they lose 10 seconds, then they spike it. So now it's 3rd and 11. But as you guys know, I am terrible when it comes to pass defense in this game. Especially on just deep throws. I don't know how to swat. But they run it. So I'm like, okay, 4th and 6, 20 seconds. They use their final timeout. And everything is fine. You know, we're going to be heading into the final game. Right around this point, I'd been recording for only like 5 minutes. So I was like, okay, maybe this won't be too bad. Thank goodness we're up by 4. because this Jets team runs 50 yards in 9 seconds and spikes the ball because that 1 second was literally eternal. But, as I said, this is the Jets. So, we win. Now, here comes the fun part. So let's start off with how it began. So, read a little bit of stuff on Xbox achievements just to kind of get a gist of how people are doing this, because in the past I tried to do this with onside kicks. And that is a nightmare in this game. There's really no way to guarantee an onside kick, obviously, because it's an onside kick, but there isn't even like a cheap way like in the newer Maddens. So you have to score a touchdown here. I think I had footage about 6 times of failing to score a touchdown here, and then it was just 2 to 5 minutes of them just running the ball and wasting clock because there's no way for you to come back. So this is probably attempt number 3 or 2. We're going to do a regular kickoff, and here's why. So how this game is programmed, basically, if you come out and field goal block on defense, even if the game's over, mathematically, there is a chance that they throw the ball. I don't know why, but they do. So I was like, okay, let's do field goal block. They're going to come out and they're going to throw the ball. An Xbox achievement, they basically say that they always throw the ball, which I don't know if that's what they meant, because as you can see here, they did not throw the ball. This was our first attempt after we'd scored a touchdown at the 5-yard line. So you can kind of see I'm like, oh great, here we go. Let's get on field goal block. What's the point? They already gained 9 yards. But you can see they do audible, and then you have to audible to kind of give yourself a chance. And they pick up the first down. So this was a fail. Complete fail. No second chance at the ball, but we could see the second chance was there. That's kind of the key part. And I show you this basically because this is, again, this is a problem that doesn't exist in any of the newer Maddens anymore because of chew clock. It's a very important, small, adjustment, but a very important one. And you don't really realize that until you start playing the older Maddens, and you need the clock to hurry up so you can get another attempt. So then I retry, okay. 5-yard line. You're going to see some skips throughout this because I took out the ones where we just didn't score because there was nothing going on. But on this one, Dallas Clark, boom. Okay, great. Touchdown. I don't know how many times I tried to throw a quick pass to Dallas Clark and he either wouldn't get an animation to catch it or Gonzalez just would run out the back of the end zone and the ball would hit him in the back of the head. It's not easy to score with this team, which is what you're going to see, I believe, in this one. Because I began to realize something about this Colts team, and that is that it stank. It was terrible in this Madden NFL 11 because none of the players have speed. I think their fastest player is Pierre Garçon, and he's a 93. There are 3 players on the Bills who are faster than him. That's not good. So here's the field goal block. They're going to run it directly at us. Okay, nothing we can do about that. Take a timeout. I noticed that if the... and actually we call the play here because I thought basically there was no chance. So I don't really know why we did that. I want to imagine it's because I mashed the A button so quickly to actually get to the point where you can call a play. But unless your defensive coordinator says... give up, they don't change their play. I don't know why. I noticed that there was just a full run of this where he just didn't change the play because the defensive coordinator wouldn't say anything to us. But this one, we got the ball. And it's like, okay, great. And here's the start of the problem. See that punt returner back there? His last name's Silva. And he's slow. Very. The number 4... 40 on his back, that doesn't say fast. He looks like a fullback or a tight end. But we get the ball, and I'm like, okay, first real chance to win this. I'm going to send a die deep because I hate that one route that they always seem to call. And they don't have an offensive line. The right tackle's terrible. Like, abysmal. So I went, okay, we got to run to the line. We got about 8 seconds left. Let's, I guess just throw it to Reggie Wayne, and you'll notice Reggie Wayne doesn't have breakaway speed. He is slow. And when you try to throw that ball, which I will in another attempt, there's one other skip. So in between that was probably another 2 fails. This ended up taking me about 2.5 hours of recording. So this time, a die. That drag route underneath is difficult to defend, especially when you're covering verts. So we're like, okay, let's put the ball through the uprights. Get the defense on the field. Hopefully this time my defensive coordinator will tell me that there's no chance, so that the offense, of course, will start changing the play, because why wouldn't you? And I was also trying to get a fumble animation, and I couldn't get a single one. Which, by the way, in the meantime between these, I was messing with settings. I noticed that it didn't look like Rookie really did anything. I also tried to mess with their fumble amount. That didn't work either. As you can see, I don't think the defensive coordinator said anything there. So, they ran the ball. They did change the play, but they ran the ball. And it looked, I think there was about 4 plays that they could call out of this. If he dropped back in shotgun, or if he motioned the running back, he would actually throw the ball. And you don't want to sack him, because a sack's as good as a QB kneel, so you have to let him throw the ball. This one, that's Silva again. He's slow. Notice that the tight end was getting by him. So this was another failed attempt. There's no point in calling timeouts. Why bother? Just going to let the clock waste. So as I was saying, in the meantime, during all of these, I'd take and do about 5, and then I'd go mess with some settings. I was trying, I guess I even called the timeout. I think I was messing with different play calls and seeing if I could get certain things to actually work the way I wanted them to. I was also testing which of the 5 coverage plays were actually effective, because again, you don't want to blitz. Okay? Because if you blitz and you get a sack, you lose. Also, another thing, their linebackers are slow, so no picks. But we retry. Another skip. We're gonna get to another part, and I was really starting to feel like I was sitting there like, okay, we're not getting anything. I've only had one attempt to actually score with Peyton after they punt the ball to us. But I was basically already noticing at this point that there wasn't going to be an easy way to do this. You had to basically get lucky. Which, I don't really appreciate luck. I mean, if you see my Bills franchise, my luck is terrible. Unless basically the comm, just his brain just turns off. Its computer brain just shuts down. This is, I think, a run. Could also be a play action. Like I said, I think there's about 6 plays or 4 plays that they can call. Yep, it was a run. And I mean, you saw it, right? The defensive tackle, Pierre Thomas. The guy's probably 150 pounds heavier than Pierre Thomas, and he just gets, right through. Can't even get a strip animation because of the fact that it's just gone. So, it's 2nd and 6, though. They do pass the ball. You'll notice that the defense is dreadful. Again, this was the problem with this Colts team. They are an interesting team, with Peyton Manning, obviously, so you can never count them out. And in franchise, they are way harder to play defense against than they are when you're actually playing them. It's probably because of all the adjustments Peyton Manning makes. But I was hoping that was a fumble. It would have been called a fumble if it had been Fitzpatrick and my team, but it wasn't called a fumble here. So that was worthless. But it did stop the clock. We had one timeout. He drops back into shotgun. It's like, okay, we're going to get another chance here. The real thing you want is an interception, a pick six, obviously, but okay, we stop him. Great to see. It's 3rd and 2. And the only way you can basically stop them at this point is if they throw the ball and it's an incomplete pass. He drops back. It's like, okay, maybe we get another attempt here. And remember, I can't get a sack. I have to let him throw it right there. That could have been a pick six. Probably wouldn't have been, but it could have at least put Peyton into a spot where he could throw it for a touchdown. Which, as you're going to see here, this is right around the point where I realized I need to change my tactics. I'm like, okay, we're going to do that wheel route again, but this time I'm going to send Wayne deep because he's our best receiver on our team. And nothing. There's nothing. And Peyton couldn't even really put it that deep, to be honest. It wasn't like it was a cannon pass, okay? And Reggie Wayne couldn't catch up with it. Peyton just showed that his throw power really wasn't that impressive. Garcon's the fastest player on the team, so I'm like, let's try like a seam burster kind of a thing. And the right tackle just lets the guy run right around him. Like, just boop. I'm trying to remember when the key thing happened. No, not yet. Because this is where the channel comes into a fun little thing of, you have to kind of understand that if it works and it makes life easier, then like, what's the difference between taking advantage of what the game allows you to do and being, like, that's not very sporty of you. Because what I noticed is the receivers are slow. They're really slow. And I think the fastest player on the Colts, and I look at it, I don't look at it, I think, in this video, but I actually look at it on the side and then start recording again. The fastest player on the Colts is their running back, who is a 61 overall. I think he has 95 speed, which you can work with, but it's not like that's blinding speed. The other part is that the punt returner is slow. And if you know anything about punt returns during this football game, Madden NFL 11, there was a certain player on I want to say he was on the Eagles at the time, but I'm not sure, who has insane speed. And I didn't know you could do this. I was messing around with some stuff and basically hoping that it would work. Because right here, this time, as you can see, I actually did show it. 3 straight plays. The defensive coordinator never tells us that that's it. Game's over. And they just run it 3 straight times, even though they could have kneeled it 3 straight times. It would have been the same result. But they run it 3 straight times, and we don't even get a chance to have the ball. It's like, what's the point of... Why specifically does the Saints need to be told by our defensive coordinator that the game's over, and then they decide... Why'd they punt it? I didn't even realize they did this during the recording. That's just how angry I was. I didn't even notice they punted it. Okay. So we're going to send Dallas Clark deep. I was like, let's just look and see that. And then I notice Gonzalez got open. So I'm like, okay, I think this is enough time to get to the line. This gives us an actual chance. Like a slim chance, yes, but then Peyton's just like, Peyton, hurry up. Gives us 5 seconds. Okay, we're at the 45. 1-on-1 to Reggie Wayne. That's a 30-yard pass. And Reggie Wayne wasn't even open. Okay, so I believe here we are. This is where I realized something. So, at least I think it is, because they didn't really show the person on the right side, but For some reason, in this game, rookie difficulty doesn't seem to have a massive effect on it. As you can see, I'm not 100%ing accuracies and stuff like that in power. Penalties don't have an effect on this game. It really looks like basically nothing has an effect on this game's modes and stuff and the difficulty, and if you can actually have an effect that'll help you win the game. So, I checked out the rosters. Because I was like, there's a very slim, this is it. Okay. There's a very slim chance it'll do anything, but if I could just get a guy with some actual speed on this team, maybe I have a chance to actually win the game. And you can see there's a number 10 that just tried to make a tackle. That's Deshaun Jackson. For some reason, even though difficulty and everything else has no effect, if you change the rosters of the teams, they didn't save the rosters. It's not saved inside of the thing. And I should have known this was a possibility because I'm pretty sure you can actually go in and just ruin the team's overalls and stuff and make them play like poop, even though you can't actually do anything to their, sliders and stuff. So in comes Deshaun Jackson. First major thing I noticed, they refused to punt him the ball. They just sent it out of bounds. And then on the left side is our running back, who's a 95 speed, 61 overall receiver. So I'm like, okay, let's just try to throw it. And if you'll notice, the left tackle decided not to block. Garcon did catch it, but I honestly don't think it would have been... I think it would have been better if he hadn't caught it. But I was like, okay, maybe we... right through the middle again, and batted it down. It's like, oh, great. I don't think we'll have enough time to throw the ball in a place where Deshaun Jackson can get to it in time because of how bad our offensive line is. Well, that's the difference in 99 speed. That's 99 speed, in a nutshell. So, that was honestly the best, chance we got. And that was the first chance we got. And here we are. We're in overtime. No pressure. That took me, I started recording, so it took me about 2 hours to get to this. So I was like, want to do another hour of terrible... and also, this won't change the rosters in the Bills franchise for anybody who might want to know. I didn't even save the rosters. I just saved the profile, and then the rosters were deleted because I turned off the Xbox. So these won't be, I won't have to deal with 99 speed Deshaun Jackson in the playoffs. But they run it. We go to overtime. Great. Saints choose. Every other time in overtime in the moments, the team that chooses loses. This time, the Saints win it. Because of course they did. So this is just going to take longer. And, I'm not going to kick an onside kick. I'm not Sean Payton. I'm not going to be stupid. So we send it deep. Again, I was hoping for basically a fumble, but they didn't even return it. Not surprised, and out comes Drew Brees. So, field goal wins it. That's kind of the key part. This whole time, if I had gotten a pick, we wouldn't have needed to have done this. We could have gotten the pick, and who knows, maybe we even didn't even need to put Deshaun Jackson on the Colts. Could have had a pick 6, maybe I even go for 2, just because why not? But Drew Brees throws a great pass. That's their 98 speed receiver, by the way. And I'm like, okay, 1st and 10. We can't let them go about 30 yards because their kicker has a cannon for a leg. And he throws it up, and Bob Sanders picks it off. Because of course he did. He gets to about the 50. And again, I will remind everybody, I had 4 attempts that could have been picks. And the players did nothing but bat it down or drop it. So, thinking about throwing it to Djax there, but he was not open, so I just threw it to the running back underneath with the 90, I think it's like 94 or 96 speed. He's still fast, he can catch good enough. We only need like 5 yards, so I'm like, okay, we're just going to run it. I'm not going to make it difficult on myself. And I immediately, I was like, oh, it's a face mask. Nope, Dallas Clark. Don't ask me how that's holding, but whatever. So now we need about 15 yards. Maybe not 15, probably like 8, but you get the point. We're just backing up. It's like, okay, well, I don't really want to throw this ball, but if I can get a drag, there's the guy who caused the penalty. It gets us to field goal range. So I'm like, great. Okay. Why aren't we kicking the ball? I'm pretty sure we have Adam Vinatieri. Why aren't we kicking the ball? Well, Adai's like, gains a couple of yards. I'm like, okay, maybe they just don't want to. Maybe they're just like, let's go score a touchdown. Peyton doesn't really have a lot of trust in kickers, at least in the earlier part of his career, because of the guy constantly missing. But Adai is Adai, and our offensive line is terrible. So we could do this a couple more times. We get to like the 20, I think. I'm pretty sure it happens here. Yeah. Get to actually around the 15. And we press A. Out comes Vinatieri. And you could tell I'm like, oh, here we go. And boom. There it is. So that was the Super Bowl Sunday Madden moment. It unlocks right here. And thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe if you did. And I show you right here that this is completely done. Like, okay, everything we've just unlocked is done. Then I pull up the Xbox thing. There's the achievements, and boom, 1000G. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, everyone.